Greetings, programs. This is Wretch. Welcome back to Citizen Sleeper 2 Starward Vector. And in the last episode, guys, both Sleeper and Junie witnessed a tense meeting between lieutenants of the Otsubo Syndicate, and we saw a familiar face there. Not familiar to Sleeper or Junie, but familiar to those of us who watched or played the first Citizen Sleeper, because it was Ankita. And Ankita actually encountered us while we were saving Marco, who was captured, and offered her help because there is no love lost with Laine whatsoever. So we're kind of processing that right now. We have Marco, we were able to rescue him. I don't know what the aftermath of that is going to be, or if Seraphin's going to kill him. But we need to go ahead and get off of Darkside as quickly as possible. Our supplies are empty. We are full up on stress because we had to fight our way out, and yeah, I think we're even going to get a little bit more stressed here as we head to the abandoned unit, but there's nothing really we can do about it, so let's go ahead and call it a night. Make it through Darkside Recon without getting caught. Nice. Marco groans as he rises from the berth. You manage to bind his wounds from Daichi, but they clearly still ache, and he looks pale and weak in the unit's harsh light. You haven't really spoken. The two of you kept busy by your own injuries and the constant fear that Daichi will find you. But so far, he hasn't. And if Ankita is to be trusted, this is your final cycle on Darkside. You wait in silence, no one eager to speak. A deep fatigue has set in, and in this moment, all anyone can do is wait for this excursion to be over. She's here. Marco nods at the doorway, where a silhouetted figure waits. Ankita looks at Marco, and then at you. A raised eyebrow, the only acknowledgement that you went against her advice. Laine is back on Darkside. We have to go now. Ankita looks tired, angry. We won't have another chance. Come with me, quickly, quietly. She turns and pushes out into the corridor. Junie turns to you and nods. You first, Sleeper. Ankita leads you across Darkside, not stopping to look back. The lights and passages flash by, but you barely notice them. All eyes are fixed ahead, on the way out. At some distant part of the station, Ankita stops at a docking bridge, a small freighter visible through the viewing windows. She slaps the door release and it slides open. She grabs your shoulder, looking into your eyes. Laine's focus will be on Darkside now. He needs to stop the infighting, to shore up Otsubo. If you get out now, he won't follow. Remember, Ankita hisses the instructions to you. Get that drive to Oliveira. Give it to Carmen, no one else, no matter what they say. Thank you. Ankita simply nods, and then she's gone, disappearing into the endless, winding passages of Darkside. You drift gingerly down the docking tunnel, which leads into a cold and sparse cargo bay of the ship. Once you're inside, there's a hiss, and the doors scissor shut. For a moment you panic, seeing no exit, no other doors, just a metal-walled bay. Is this a trap? But the engines rumble to life and you give in to your exhaustion. If Ankita has tricked you, at least you're leaving this place behind. And then you feel it, cold fingers reaching into your mind. You are so close, Laine's voice in your ear. You are here. A rustling, a shifting. I can't quite place you. Can't quite put my finger on you, Sleeper. But I know you're there. What were you doing here? Hoping to confront me, perhaps? Or something else? A hiss. I'm right here, you coward. Come and find me. I'll admit, I'm not quite ready for you, Sleeper. A flicker and a spasm. But so soon, this will all be over. A tone begins, shrill and inescapable. Let me show you. And the tone rises. Laine is in the bay of the freighter. The the pull of constant acceleration a comforting pressure against his chest. Laine looks around the bay, taking it in slowly. He inhales the stale air deeply. Laine feels power, feels pride. The sense of control over another excites him. This is his desire. Laine lifts his right hand and turns it in the air, flexing his fingers in a satisfying wave. Something flickers at the corner of your vision for a moment, and you strain to turn Laine's head. It does not turn, but you swear you see a figure there, in the bay with you. It opens its mouth, as if to speak, as if to scream, and then it's gone. A smile grows on Laine's face, a spreading tightness that has its own impulse. He raises one hand and uses it to grip the smallest finger of the other. A pause, and then a sudden jerk. Laine snaps the finger back against the joint. His pain is instant, as is yours. It burns your vision away. When the white-hot blindness has faded, you look out on those same metal walls. You hold the same finger in your hand, and as you release it, you see the crooked shape it has been bent into. A shiver runs through you, and you reach back into your own mind to see if any trace, any fragment of Laine remains there. You put your hands on your face and push, as if to push him from your head. The ship continues on its starward arc, away from Darkside, away from Laine. But you can't help but feel that some part of him is still there, behind your eyes, concealed beneath the pain of that snapped finger. So he can take over Sleeper's body, essentially, which has all kinds of just disturbing connotations, because then some of these people could conceivably live forever inside a Sleeper, but still retain their own memories and their own abilities, maybe even more so. It takes a long time before you're ready to discuss everything. First, there was the journey to the yard, then disembarking from the freighter, then explaining to the waiting crew why their ship was impounded, something Marco offered 1,000 apologies for. Thankfully, the crew of the ship that brought you out of Darkside, sent by Ankita, took the others aside and settled them. Through the promise of remuneration, or the threat of violence, you aren't sure, but you expect they'll leave together for Darkside soon. You do your best to explain your encounter with Ankita to the crew, but the mention of her name sets off a significant reaction in Bliss. It seems the two have history. A relationship that fell apart. Oh, I forgot about that. Bliss removes themselves from the conversations, and later on, you find them in the berths, staring at the wall. The whole time, you find yourself in a daze. Your skin hurts, and your muscles tremble. You don't feel yourself. Yeah, we're not in good shape. Look at that stress. You rest for a while, and as you do, conversations echo around you, until you find yourself able to rise. Sleeper? Marco comes to you in the quiet of the rig. Can we speak a moment? Go ahead. Marco nods. Thank you, Sleeper. He looks down. I know I almost cost you everything, but you have to understand something. When they caught me, I was looking for someone. Someone important to me. That's why I wanted to come with you. I just wanted to get a message to him, and to know that he was alright. He screws up his face, each word bringing him pain. And I admit, I thought I might be able to bargain on his behalf, to get us both out. Bargain using my life. Marco can't bring himself to confirm it, but you both know it to be true. All I can say is, I am sorry. Look, you can use the yard when you get back to the scatter yards. There's some components in there. Take what you want. I'm gonna stay here a while. He does not meet your eye. He simply turns away and drifts down the corridor. As he does, Seraphin passes him by, receiving no acknowledgement. Seraphin gives you a questioning look as Marco leaves. What happened out there, sleeper? He floats there, stretching his scarred arm, the protective sleeve he's been wearing since the far spindle finally removed. Utsubo are fighting amongst themselves. You explain about the meeting you witnessed, the conflict between Oren and Daichi and Ankita's intervention. Explaining Ankita takes a little more effort, but you try to remember everything that happened. You explain Ankita's insistence that she was working against Darkside, and how she got you off the station. You explain that Utsubo itself is coming apart with Laine absent, and that this will draw his focus away from the two of you. Seraphin waits until you finish to respond. So, this Ankita got herself inside Utsubo. He raises an eyebrow. Just to try to break their grip on Darkside? That takes some balls. You explain the drive, mention Oliveira, Carmen, and then hold up the thumbnail drive, the one Ankita entrusted to you. Oliveira? He scrunches up his face. I've heard of it, maybe once or twice. I just assumed it was some backwater colony. Never met a Carmen, though. What's on that thing? Seraphin nods at the thumbnail drive. Ankita didn't say. I don't get it. Seraphin raises an eyebrow. We just deliver this little mystery drive and that's all? He looks away, deep in thought. Is that what you want to do next? Oliveira. You've never even heard of it, but it seems like the place to go if you want to help Ankita fight back against Laine. You look at the drive, and as you do, you can't help but feel you're being used, and not for the first time. One thing I will say, Seraphin begins, clearly thinking out loud. If we want to head back to Darkside, take on Laine, we're going to need to do so on our ship this time. Some crews get spoofed transponders, send out a signal matching another ship. He shrugs. Not going to get one fitted here, but that's something we need to look out for. Sure, you think. Go back to Darkside, where Laine waits. A shudder of fear runs through you, thinking of the moment he slipped into your mind on the freighter. If you ever go back there, you know you'll need something to counteract him. But you also recall Overseer's presence in that moment too. His strange form holding its shape as Laine tried to override your control. Perhaps Overseer has a way for you to resist his signal. Your mind whirls with possibilities and problems. Is this really the right move? To go back to the place that almost killed you twice? To take Laine on? Seraphin looks at you expectantly. What are you thinking, Sleeper? What if we leave the system? Seraphin pauses. You want to run? He looks down. I know that the past cycles must have been hard, that I wasn't there, but leave Helion? I don't know if I can do that, Sleeper. Tala is here and... As Seraphin trails off, you think of what it might feel like to leave this place behind. To throw away responsibility, to forget Laine, and to set out towards something new. The thought alone lifts you, freezes you in place with closed eyes and shaking heads, or hands. I know it's different for you, Sleeper. If you can find a way to make the rig fit for interstellar travel, a fraction drive, better hull, a crew and a pilot willing to go, then who am I to stop you? He looks at you with a pained expression. It's not what I want, but you don't owe me anything. It's your future. Look, Sleeper. Seraphin places a hand on your shoulder. We aren't done yet. Either way, we need to repair. We need work. We need a crew. Seraphin starts counting off his fingers. And we need you strong. Speaking of, Seraphin takes out a box of components. I kept myself busy these past cycles, working in the fabricator bays on the scatter yards. Figured you could use some spares. So first, Seraphim takes a calming breath. We rest. We need all the rest. Whew, so much glitching. Well, we need to find something safe to do. Oh, and we're starving, so let's go ahead and buy ourselves a meal. Much better. And probably the best thing we can do, like we've got the fabricator bay, don't even have to worry about that. Yard supply. Let's fill up the tank. Just fill up the supplies, everything. We've had a rough go of it. Marco's yard. Marco said you were free to take the components he had, but his yard is an absolute mess. Where to even start? Ooh. Okay, that'd probably be a good way of getting rid of the glitches. Oh, also, we have points to spend here. So, do I want to go full intuition, or do I want to, like, increase our interface? You know what? I'm okay with that. Let's increase... Well, the one thing that we normally do not have, especially Endure or Interface. Which would be the best one? Sometimes it's Engage and Endure. I'll tell you what, we're going to leave that to... Well, man. There's a whole bunch of different ways this could go. Considering the fact that Sleeper's taken a bit of a beating lately, we're going to go ahead and take some Endure. I think that fits in terms of a role-playing capacity, you know? Okay, so let's get these dice out of the way. Ooh. +1 engine components, +1 Marco stock. Well, I don't really need that, but that's okay. Search failed. That's okay, too. Has a 20% positive chance. And... Intuition? Scrap components. And search failed. Okay. Well, let's first off feed our stray. Glides over to eat. And we don't have any way of repairing. The dice aren't broken. They're on the very edge of broken, though, which is not good. Yeah, I think that was the best way of going about it, because the only one of our crew other than Seraphim that has Endure is us. So, but Junie has Interface. The die is cast. Let's scavenge for supplies and call it a night. It's been a bit rough. The darkness flows around you, and you know what comes next. More roughness. Sleeper. The multi-part image of Overseer assembles itself in front of you. We must intervene in your current course. Intervene in what? The opening of your systems has breached a new paradigm. You are dangerously exposed. The voice is somehow both soundless and shrill. As we are sharing your hardware, that means we, too, are fatally exposed. The individual agent you encountered, we were almost completely erased by their attempts to seize control. Overseer's 3 heads nod eagerly in agreement. It's Laine. We have knowledge of this name from your memory banks. There is much of interest to us recorded there. though often partially and inconsistently. Overseer whirs unsettlingly. But yes, we can confirm Laine's role in this vulnerability. It is our understanding that the assumption of inevitability is incorrect. Overseer glows with bright veins of data. But in this state, we cannot operate with full functionality. If we were to be recompiled in our current configuration, we believe we would be able to calculate a new path. Our aim would be to close the vulnerabilities and reinforce your systems against future intrusion. This would ensure our safety within your system. 3 sets of eyes lock onto you. Would this also please you? How? We do not know. All 3 heads cock at an angle. We are aware we were built with certain capabilities, but we cannot access them until we are recompiled. We are confident to a substantial degree that we will know how to complete the process once recompiled. The 3 heads nod, one to the other. Then recompile. The heads revolve thoughtfully for a moment. Without our originating codebase, we cannot recompile. Overseer flickers. If you are able to speak with a Solheim systems engineer, perhaps lead engineer Jakob Kadinsky, perhaps we could acquire it? The heads stare at you expectantly, like 3 partially deconstructed puppies. Solheim is gone. Yes, the heads nod repeatedly. Of course. The heads continue nodding. We were, of course, aware of this. You look at the fragmented program. Itself, its systems, unstable and broken. You realize it's far worse off than you, and its collapse is almost inevitable. How could it possibly save you? It is a difficulty. Overseer flicks between poses. But all codebases are held in centralized Solheim facilities. They are Station AE-1, the Can Channel Operations Center, and the Control Center of the HAB-PEP, or Helion Asteroid Belt Photovoltaic Extraction Project. Overseer smiles helpfully. HAB-PEP? Is that Darkside? Overseer immediately latches onto the thought. Based on your memory banks, we believe so, correct. It occurs to you that this entire conversation is happening within your head. It is an unsettling feeling. Darkside is a city now. This is true, but its foundation is the HAP-PEP itself. Overseer chirps brightly. We understand that the individual seeking to overwrite you is stationed in the HAP-PEP itself. Overseer's 3 heads separate and turn inward as if in conference. The shattered heads turn simultaneously, unsettling in the directness which they address you. But if you could access the HAP-PEP mainframe without making yourself known, we could reconstruct ourselves and gain the ability to reconstruct you. Theoretically, one of the heads adds. Theoretically, the other 2 heads confirm. Theoretically. Theoretically, the heads confirm again. The reassurances of a delusional Solheim protocol are barely reassuring, but if Overseer is correct, this may be your only option. We feel your doubt, but we must impress on you the importance of this. Please. Overseer's eyes flash, all 6 of them. If not for your sake, for ours. If you cannot find your way to the HAP-PEP before encountering this Laine, you will surely be overridden, and we would also share your fate. The heads rotate. We would not like this to happen. You sigh, exhausted from the conversation. Overseer gets the message. We will leave you to recharge, but please, consider the path ahead. You come back to the ragged paneling of the bunks. Somewhere behind your left eye, the ache begins. You envy Overseer for its lack of a body and the pain it causes. But then, suddenly, you wonder if in sharing your body, it shares your pain, too. The thought makes you pity the broken protocol, its sense of time and place shattered. Perhaps you share more than you would like to admit. The path ahead begins to take shape. It seems a return to Darkside is inevitable, but you will need help to make that return. Indeed. Okay. Well, let's go ahead and finish our search in the yard. Take advantage of the fact that Laine is busy having to clean house. That should get us something. Engine components. And can we finish it up? Wow. Keep it going. Well, we got one more time to make that count. Let's feed the kitty, and then basically before we do anything with Darkside, we're going to take a trip around the belt. We need to get some paint jobs here, I would say. Okay, we already went ahead and fed the cat. All is well. All is good. Something else gonna pop up to us now? Oh, just one glitch. I'll take that, for sure. We'll make this a sure thing. Alright, you've gotten all you can from the mess of things in the yard. Now, let's go ahead and get some food in us. And I think it's time that we go ahead and leave and decide where we're going to go next. Wait, what was that down there? Oh, I thought that was something that we could have clicked that I just didn't notice. Let's harvest some mushrooms. Well, first off, feed. Every day, if possible. Because we're going to be leaving this area anyway. Cool. Now, let's go ahead and go to the map. Whoops. Can we go to the belt map? Now, we've got the Hollow. Have we been to the Hollow yet? Travel to Oliveira. We still don't know where Oliveira... Oh, there's Oliveira. Oh, investigate Hexport. That's to help Cadet crack the drive, get back to Darkside, which we did, I thought. Yeah, we're fine on all of that. I'm just checking to see if we missed anything else other than the yard. No? Okay. Well, if that is the case... Oh wait, Cadet's already with... Yeah, Cadet's part of the crew. Green belt, can't go to Darks... Okay, radiated zone. So it may be in our best interest... We'll head to Flotsam. We'll be spending a lot of money on gas, but that's okay. And then we'll check out Hexport. Tell you what, it was pretty rough. It was kind of a close shave there at Darkside, which I guess is kind of the point. We don't have Laine chasing us, which is excellent. Nothing new here, I don't think. Nothing to do but feed the cat and harvest. I'll tell you the truth, I really wish that some of these dice would just break so I could just get them taken care of and not worry about it. But that's not how it works here in this world. But I think now would be a great time to go ahead and call it an episode, guys. When we return, we're going to do some backtracking here. And we are going to travel to all of these areas and see what we can do about getting some of these paint jobs. So go to Farspindle, maybe Holmes's Rock, Wellspring, and then Helion Gate, and then to the Greenbelt, and then we can head to the Hollow, I think, straight from there. So, yeah, time for a little bit of a grand tour, but I hope you all have enjoyed it. If you liked the episode, please leave a like down below, subscribe to the channel, leave a comment, that'd be a big help. I will see you next time. Later days, everyone.